Hello, everybody. What's going down? Today is Monday. It's July 14th, 2025, and I am happy to be alive. Aren't you? Aren't you? How was your weekend? How's everything rolling for you? To be honest, I am still celebrating. Yes, my solar return was last week, a week ago from today, 7/7, and I swear I need to come off my celebration. I mean, some may say, why? But you may not know how I celebrate. I really just need to get back to my body. My body is like, all this bad food. We don't drink beer anymore. What are you doing, lady? So yeah, I'm trying to get back to life, and in a responsible way. But I love the celebration. Good morning, spiritual gangster. Good morning, April. How you doing to drape? Is that drape to maniac? I don't know what that says, but I'm gonna wave hi to you anyway. I'm so sorry. I'm waiting for the people to come on in. Please get comfortable, get settled. We have some things to talk about what's going on this week, astrologically speaking. But before I do that and allow people to get the notifications and come on through, because that's what we do, I'm going to give you a couple announcements. I'm gonna do my best to do the timestamps this week so you guys can navigate this live. Broadcast here on YouTube a little bit more efficiently. I promise to do that sometime today or when YouTube uploads the transcripts. I'm not sure when that happens, but I'll do it as soon as possible. Okay. I'm glad that y'all are rolling in. I want to remind y'all of my summertime reading special, 90-minute reading special that has been going on, and a few have taken advantage of it. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I hope it was well for you. I hope it went well for you, and I hope it helped you in some way, for those that did take advantage of it. But we have until the end of July. I just posted in my IG stories, and the link also, it's in the description box here on YouTube. You can go to the link tree in my IG, but also it's on my website, wordlifeastrology.com/readings. It's on the readings page. Okay, I'm doing my 90-minute special for 222 instead of 333. Yep, it's purposeful. 222 333. The bottom line is, in that reading, if you don't know and you're new to me, hi, how you doing? In that reading, it's like a three-parter, so to speak. The first part, we connect with your ancestors and your guides, get some information from them. And the second part, we go into your natal chart based on your time, your date, and your place of birth. If you do not have your time of birth, it's okay. We can still do a natal chart reading. We just won't be as specific when it comes to the houses and all. And then lastly, we pick up a 5-card tarot spread to kind of solidify the entire thing. So jump on it now. You can pay and schedule it for the end of July if you want, but you got to get it in before August 1st. Okay. Thank you, Soul Eunice. I appreciate you coming on in here. Oh, I thought that was you saying happy birthday. Thank you, Drake to Maniac. I think that's it. I am definitely still celebrating in my own way, but I need to come down, clowns. I need to come down. This girl is going crazy. I am 55 years young, y'all. I can't believe it. Like sometimes you just gotta stop and be like, what? First of all, where did time go? And second of all, inside my body, I don't know if y'all ever felt this on your solar return or as you get older. Inside my body, I'm still 25 years old. I mean, I may not look it. I definitely have the emotional maturity of someone that's a lot older, but my vigor, my get up and go, my excitement for living, even in those down moments, I still feel like I'm young and I can do this thing. And then my knees are like, bitch. And then my back is like, what the fuck? And then I got a bunion growing on my right foot, and it's like, girl, we can't move that fast. I'm just saying. It's a beautiful thing to be 55 years young, but it is an adjustment. That's for sure. Listen. I had a really good time at my show last week on July 6th. I want to say thank you, a huge thank you. If I didn't do it properly last week, because I was just so overwhelmed with joy and just people and love. But I want to say thank you for attending. If you came out to the Del Monte Speakeasy with myself and Cody Chestnut, we had a packed house and it was sold the fuck out. It was really, really packed. I couldn't see past the first three tables, to be truthful with you, but I was told there was a whole bunch of people in there, and the numbers actually did prove that. So I'm grateful. I'm so incredibly grateful for you coming out and supporting a sister. We have one more chance in this residency, that is, for anybody in the Los Angeles area to come on out and support a sister on August 10th. Please, I'm going to drop the link sometime this week so you can go ahead and get them pre-sale tickets. It's going to be a special day. I did my best to get a musical guest, but it wasn't panning out. And then I heard spirit in my mind go back to the word, go back to the word. So I've curated 5 dope ass poets here in the Los Angeles area to come together and do like a curated kind of pass the baton kind of poetry thing. It's not a slam. It's absolutely not a slam, because I can't stand slams. I'm just letting y'all know right now. But it's going to be a great presentation in which I'm kind of like producing. I want y'all to come out. That is August 10th at the Del Monte Speakeasy, 52 Windward Avenue. You know I'm going to repeat myself every week until then. I'm also going to live stream it again for those that want to catch it. However, I won't stream the first part. It's only going to be my performance, and you can pay as you want, okay? And I'll put that information out real soon too. So get ready if you're looking forward to that. I appreciate that. And again, I appreciate the people that stuck by me on live stream. Kamau, my sweet son, threw me a party last week, y'all. He spoiled the frick out of me. My mom came in town. I don't know if she's on here. I was so happy to spend time with her and Janine, a good friend of ours, family friend of ours. Man, it's just not easy, if I can be candid with you before I go into this rundown, to be out here for 33 years on your own without family. And then you have a baby, a child who's now 22 years old, who kind of takes a little bit of that space in your heart. But if anybody knows that's out there, please, yes, y'all, me, or go, yup, or whatever, give me an amen. And how it can be kind of challenging to be away from family sometimes. You never get used to it, regardless of where you live and what type of family you have. You know what I mean? It's always a little tricky, because those are the people that know you, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. So when they're in town, when they're surrounding me, I feel 12 again, and I feel safe, and I feel secure in all of it, in every little bit of it. So this week has been a real treat for your girl. And I'm just really appreciative of all the love that is thrown my way, especially from my son and from my mom. So thank you. And again, thank y'all for supporting. I just wanted to make it proper, because I take nothing for granted. That's for ding dong damn sure. All right. So as we get into this weekly rundown, let me say hello to all the people. Judy Applegate is here. Oh, and thank y'all for giving me 55 cents for my birthday. I got $1.55. I got $5.55. I got 55 cents. I got $55. Somebody gave a girl $55 for a solar return. So I appreciate y'all too. I can't spell y'all all out right now, but thank you. Again, nothing goes unseen or unappreciated by Sonja. That's for sure. I have the weirdest little eyelash that just wants to irritate me like a quincunx, and I'm not allowing you. So get on out and do what you got to do. Okay. All right. Let me say hello to the folks on YouTube. The chatter is here. Yaya was in the place. Oh my God, my sweet Yaya. Are you back at home? I meant to text you the other day. Yaya was hanging out for the show last week, and then she came to my house for a nice little brief family gathering. Thank you, Yaya. Yaya I met online and is just one of the sweetest Geminis I've ever met. I appreciate you being here and hugging me and talking shit with my family and eating with us. Thank you, Yaya. Sankofa is here as well. Alma. McGrath. Is that Alma? Please let me know because my great grandmother's name was Alma and I love that name. You pronounce it that way? Who else is here? Copper Fox. Say what? Say rock. Say what? I haven't seen Copper Fox in a while. So good to see your name. Royal is here. What's up, sweet Royal? Irene is here. Hi, Miss Irene. When is my solar return was 7/7. I was born 7/7/70 to answer a question real quick. Who else is in the joint? All right. April's here, of course. April is always in the space. And thank y'all for being here again. Thank you for supporting. Peace to you, Sankofa. You and Empress with them gorgeous flowers last week. Oh my God, I had so much love. I had about 8 bouquets of flowers in here. My mother was like, what are we going to do with all these flowers? I said, what am I going to do with all this love, man? All the love hitting my chest. This Cancer gets really like not embarrassed, but overwhelmed, like, it's just too much. What's up, Luxa? Nice to see you. Milana Howard is here. What's going down? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. It was a lot, wasn't it, Yaya? It was a lot of love, girl. Okay. Well, let's get started and talk about this week that's coming up. As you may already know, because a lot of astrologers and people out there that know astrology on some level are talking about it. Mercury is going retrograde this week. Oh man, Sonia, what'd you do that for? Mercury is going retrograde this week, and oh, say what? Mercury retrograde, and I'm having a retrograde moment in this moment. This is so. Oh, here it is. I'm like, what? I'm not even gonna try to explain it. But in any case, Mercury retrograde. Hello, it's going retrograde, and it will go direct on August 11th. So let's get prepared for that. And as I remind myself, I'm like, God dang it. How did I schedule a show during Mercury retrograde? But we're going to rock on August 10th, just before it goes direct. And I hope to see you, regardless of any faux pas that happen or not. Okay. How you feeling? How are folks feeling? I mean, really, really, really. Oh, thank you, Sankofa. How do you feel? I mean, how's your heart? How's your movements? I really want to know that. Please talk among yourselves or put a couple of exclamation points up. I love you, Empress, sweetie pie. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to mess it up, but if you are on IG, please pay attention to the Be Elevated events that's happening. Ooh, please put that up, Empress. The date, I believe, is July 27th. It's a community of beautiful people coming together, talking, fellowshipping, healing, having a panel and listening to some expert advice on things. I'll be curating it in a way. No, Empress is the curator. I will be hosting in between the joint, and I'll be the panel person asking the questions and being goofy like I am always. Please check out the Be Elevated events that's on my page. And yeah, sign up and come on through on July 27th. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I saw Empress's name and I'm like, that's right, we doing something. We doing something. So again, how do you feel? I feel like, let me tell you what I heard in the shower. Spirit said, we're going through several portals of openings that are happening in which you feel like doors are closing behind you. Anybody else feel that? I'm going to explain it in a minute. Yes, July 27th, Be Elevated Now, empowering visions and women, empowering visionary women. Please forgive me. Yes, July 27th. Check that out and come on through. Okay. But have you been feeling, Sankofa said, I'm feeling on a high note right now. There are challenges, but also opportunities for massive expansion in the direction that I desire. Let's go. Let's go, Sankofa. Yes. I'm feeling all of that too, brother, to be truthful with you. There are challenges that are mulling around us. However, like I said, and like Spirit was telling me, there are portals that are opening up. And again, when you try to go back and open up those doors, or I should say, revisit old places, the doors feel like they're like closed shut. Has anybody experienced that? Like, for instance, you stop I don't know, just an example. You stop drinking for like a year or so, or 6 months or so, and then you go back to have a drink because what? It's your birthday, or because you're just celebrating with your girls or your guy friends, right? And before you know it, your body is like, wait, hold on for a second. Haven't we, like on some snooty, sensitive shit? So, Eunice, right? Right, on some snooty thing, like your body's like, haven't we done this already? Do you want to go back to this place of being? Or like talking about people, commenting on, judging people, gossiping with folks, like, and then folks come around and do the gossiping, or you may hear a gossip, I don't know, sentence come out of your mouth or whatever, and in your mind or your body, your spirit is like, that doesn't feel right. You're complying right now. You're doing things that you used to do, and this just doesn't feel right. Is it just me? Or is that anybody else feeling that need to not only move forward, but to check yourself on the things that you used to do? Because what happens is that as we move forward, there are times, now get it right, this is what I'm hearing, right? There are times where we miss our old selves. We miss that compliant part of us. We miss that space in which we feel a little uh, 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 comfortable doing what we used to do, only because it's familiar, but more so because we know the outcome, more so because we know how it's going to play out, more so because we feel a little bit more prepared. Does that make sense? Thank you, Empress. Does that make sense to everybody else but Empress? Because I feel like we're at that level, like we're like busting through these doors, and then all of a sudden we honestly, and we never do, know where we're going, right? So if we don't know where we're going, sometimes different times throughout our days, we get a little nervous by that. So we slip back into what it is we used to do because we know what the outcome of that is. Does this make sense? Milana said, can't do the same things the same way anymore. No, ma'am. It's just not happening. And it's kind of a relief, but at the same time, depending on who you are, it could be a little scary. It could be a little like, wait, hold on. What do I have to stand on? What do I have in my mind's eye, in my hands, even practically speaking, to be assured about? You understand? I mean, but this is what I hear, and this is what I believe in. Spirit is saying, just keep moving forward. So the challenge is sometimes what I heard Sankofa comes up around us because of our resistance to do the things that we are being called to do. It looks like we don't have enough money. It looks like we don't have the support. It looks like it's not in the right area, in the right building, in the right situation. It doesn't look practical enough. It doesn't look how our minds and how our brilliance, right, has created, constructed the thing. But y'all got to know something bigger is happening. I wish I can spell it out for you, but to be truthful with you, it's a feeling on me that I can't even explain. And I really wish I could, because it would put my mind at ease even. But it's a thing where God is like, it's almost like you go, it's not the tunnel. I don't want to use that analogy anymore. It's like a sewer system. Fuck a tunnel. At least a tunnel, you feel dry and safe. Sometimes when you're in that sewer system, though, like you know that any kind of surprise is going to come up on you. You know what I mean? Is there a rat? Am I going to slip and fall? Oh my God, the third rail. Like, you know what I mean? Is that a roach? Like, you are somewhat anticipating things not going right, or at the very least, falling off the rail a little bit. Spirit is saying to me very, very loudly, y'all, please get out of that space. Please get out of the sewer system space of not wanting to walk the walk, not wanting to walk the plank, not wanting to get your feet dirty, not wanting to understand where this place is going to take you. And then you want to get up and out of the manhole. You're like, fuck this shit. I'm just going to climb out of the manhole and I'm going to be safe again. I'm going to go back to smoking. I'm going to go back to doing the things I want to do. I'm going to go back to seeing. At least I can see something. This walk is special that we're doing right now. And I believe, especially with Jupiter being in Cancer, in this whole, waiting for the things to go by, y'all, and this whole expansion of the heart, Don't let me throw on a commercial. We got to lead from the heart. That's the only way to get through this. The artist's way, the heart's way. When I make up my mind to find the artist's way, I feel safe inside. The Cancer energy, the moon, Sonia, get it right. The sun and Jupiter being in Cancer is an expansion. Jupiter is always the expansion of something, is the expansion of the heart, is the expansion of your capacity to love not only yourself, but other people, is the expansion to be affectionate, to be compassionate, to listen with an understanding ear and an understanding heart. If this time is hard for you, maybe you got a lot of Libra in you or a lot of Aries in you, including your sun and your moon and your rise, right? Maybe it's hard because that's not your language, to open up your heart, to lead from your heart. It's not good or bad. I need for everybody to get out of the good and bad conversation, because that's separation. And that's what this world has conditioned us, especially here in the United States, to believe that everything is good and bad, wrong or right. No, it's kind of intertwined. It's integration. We just need to see it for what it is and how are we going to parlay that thing. So the thing about it is, when your heart expands, it may ache. There may be like a... Don't ask me why I always revert in default back to that sound, y'all. It's almost like a whining kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this, but you still gonna do it, right? It's like, I don't want to open my heart. My heart has been open way too many times, and look what people have done. I've led with my heart way too many times, and I'm broke as fuck. I tried to be this artist 3, 4, 5 times over, and to go out there and sell my pieces on Venice and to do this and get with this art curator or whatever. And they always said no. All we need is a yes. All we need is one yes, y'all. All we need is one mic. All we need is one time. All we need is one person. All we need is really you opening your heart and letting that energy lead the way, because that energy is going to find the people that want to listen to you. I just asked Spirit to talk to through me in the shower today. And that's why I'm rambling right now, because I think this is something that we need to get. This is part of the hardest part, in my opinion. Does this make sense to anybody out there? Huh? Okay, let's start with the weekly rundown and what's going down. Oh, no. Okay, here it is. The weekly rundown is this. Today, the moon is in Pisces. So if you're feeling a little watery, for those out there that have welcoming y'all in on Instagram, come on and take a seat. Take some notes if you must. There's a lot of information that's about to come through. Today, again, the moon is in Pisces. And for those, I remind y'all every now and again why we talk about where the moon placement is in, because the moon represents our emotions, our feelings, and our expressions. And oftentimes, thank y'all for hitting that like button on YouTube. I really appreciate that. Oftentimes, our mood, which is governed by the moon, can lead us throughout our day. We don't mean it to, but it kind of does, depending on who you are and how you rock with that thing, right? So we got to know where the emotions are and our reactions to our emotions on any given day. And because it's in Pisces, oh yeah, it's about crying. It's about tapping into some emotional love. It's about being passive aggressive when you don't get what you want. I know I've told y'all this before. Please forgive me. We've got a little sweats happening. I know I told you this before, but for any Pisces out there, this is no disrespect, but this is some real spit. There's good and bad, not really good and bad, but there's up and down. There's challenges. There's all the things. There's all the things. Y'all gonna laugh at me. This is the funniest thing. I couldn't find my notes because I put the dates on it as May instead of July. That's so funny. There's good and bad. There's up and down. There's all throughout. And when it comes to Pisces energy and the moon being in Pisces, when you don't get what you want, sometimes you can be a little passive aggressive and throw 1,000 knives at people. You know what I mean? Like just hitting them, shanking them from the side, bit by bit by bit by bit. That is a negative emotional reaction to what Pisces energy wants. See, Pisces energy with the moon in Pisces, this is for everybody, right? Pisces, that's 55, spiritual gangster. Ain't that the truth, Ruth? I'm sitting here going, where is my fucking notes? It's under May, chick. It's not May. That was funny. She said, that's 55 for you. Going back to that Pisces energy, I want y'all to stay away from being a brat, an emotional brat, and throwing 1,000 knives when you don't get what you want today and tomorrow, by the way, right? And here's the thing. This is what I was going to say. Pisces energy, because we're all falling under it, is a reminder to ask for what you want. I know some people said, I don't have a problem doing that. Okay, that's fine. And kudos to you. But it is an art to ask for what you want. And Pisces energy don't know how to do that. So when the moon is in Pisces, it does everything but ask for what it wants in this weird passive aggressive way. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because that moon will bring out any adverse reactions, good or bad, however you want to put it, right? When it's squared, and that moon today is squared up against Venus. So we're lacking the passion or the value in something, about something or somebody, because it doesn't have structure. It doesn't have the information. So possibly maybe you want to be passive aggressive towards someone today, or towards yourself for that matter, and your advancements, because you don't have the information. Oh, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z because they didn't call me. Oh, I'm not going to do A, B, C because they didn't show up with the right color or with the right information, the right things that I need. First of all, did you want to do it? Stop playing games. Because if you didn't want to do it, just say you don't want to do it. Don't put it off and shove it off on somebody else and be passive aggressive about a thing because you lack the passion, because you didn't have the information and the things that you needed in order to make it look like the best picture ever, in order to make it look like what it is that you wanted. Does this make sense to y'all? Or do I have to like repeat myself and be a little bit more layman with it? The bottom line is that so many things can come off today with that moon in Pisces squaring up Venus. But when the moon squares Venus, is never really a good kind of feel today, right? And again, staying away from using the words good. It feels a little crunchy. It feels like I'm not getting what I want, and I'm not fulfilled emotionally, right? Because the desire is not there, because the money is not there, because I don't see its value. And because Venus is in Gemini, I'm repeating it anyway, because Venus is in Gemini, it's the value of information. It's the value of being social. It's the value of coming together. It's the value of servicing each other. You're going to get passive aggressive because of that? I'm just saying. Think about the things that are happening today, that are surrounding you today, and just back up and ask yourself, did I really make myself known on what it is that I wanted so I can receive the information, or I can be told I can't give that to you right now? Because being passive aggressive and trying to stab people and do the weird ass reaction thing when the moon is in Pisces is not necessary. Or you become a victim. Or you become, oh my God, they didn't help me. I always help them. I'm telling you honestly, we have been conditioned to be victims in this society, on this planet. Because as long as we are victims, we are all desperate for something. As long as we are desperate for something, we're pointing the fingers at everybody else except for ourselves. Are y'all hearing me? You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Is the system whack and fucked up? Yup. Do we have a whack ass president? Yup. Have many things been done to you? Have your heart been broken because somebody is narcissistic? Yup. You know what I mean? But here's the deal. Are you a victim? Hell no. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, and I'm going to challenge everybody on this. I ain't even getting to the weekly rundown, but God is giving it to me. 9 times out of 10, you know exactly what's about to happen before it happens. Come on now. Can I challenge you? Can somebody say no so I can challenge you? I'm really serious about that. 9 times out of 10, everybody that's on here is a spiritual being. Everybody that's on here absolutely sees. You may not see like Sonja Marie sees. You may not see like, I don't know, whatever other psychic or in tune person or shaman or somebody that you respect. But you see, you have the ability. And 9 times out of 10, before you consider yourself that victim, spirit, your grandmother, somebody was like, yo, you shouldn't do that. So, yo, you should actually call this one and do that. But you go against it. You go against it. You run your head up against the wall over and over and over again because maybe your ego says I can change the outcome of this time around. I'm just saying, think about it. Just think about it because the victim consciousness is high today with that moon being Pisces and it's square in Venus, getting your feelings hurt because of love. Why would you do this? Getting your feelings hurt because nobody gave you the right amount of money. Did you tell them you needed $1,700.59 and they forgot your 59 cents? Now you mad about it? Were you specific? Are y'all hearing me or am I just talking out my ass? I'm just saying. What up, Sue Bang Bang? I'm just saying. That's today. Now it's interesting. At the same time, simultaneously, that's what that word means, right? The moon is trining up Jupiter. So there's a good feeling. There's a good squishy, emotional, nice, open-ended heart kind of feeling. Now, this is tricky. This is tricky because we kind of feel like we want to open our hearts, like I started this weekly rundown with. We kind of feel like we want to be emotional. We want to be trusting. We want to be affectionate. We want to lean into that space. And then when people don't give us what it is that we need, then we shut down and we become the victim. How about this? Be okay with what it is that you're given. I'm not saying you don't deserve more. I'm saying sometimes people cannot and will not give you what you deserve. So is that their fault? Or should you go find it somewhere else? With the moon is trine in Gemini, good God, Sonya, get the words right. With the moon trine in Jupiter today, it's saying keep that heart open because that open heart is the prize, you dig? We can't allow human beings, other people with other consciousness and ways of seeing things and their immaturity or lack thereof close our hearts for us. That's the way in which we walk the earth. That's the way in which we have these experiences that we go to bed going, oh, wow, what a good day. That's the way in which we make good love. That's the way in which we see babies and we can smile so hard deep inside. To keep an open heart is the way in which we walk the planet, and every step is an adventure. To keep an open heart is to find love that matches with the love that you have. As soon as you close that shit down, then you close down what it is that your open heart could have given you. And then again, you become the victim. But really, are you? Because you're the one opening and closing the door. You're the one being told what to do. Spirit is talking to you. Come on, y'all. Let's really, in my opinion, utilize that. I've said this example before, and I think it's worth me repeating, and then I'm going to move on to Tuesday. But my prayer for a long time has been, and I hope y'all can get this, but I'm going to do it the way I feel it. My prayer for a long time has been to react like this brother that was on Shallow Hal's movie. And I know one or two of you remember this example. There was a line in Shallow Hal. Shallow Hal is about, if y'all don't know the movie, it's about being able to see people for who they are, not see them on the outside. So when Jack Black was under this spell, he saw people's heart, but he didn't see their physicality. He saw this one gentleman who was classically and conditionally in this fucking society unattractive to a certain point. He was overweight. He was like 400 pounds. And Jack Black said he got out of the spell and he saw the real person, the overweight person, instead of the person when he was under the spell, the good person that it was in his heart. And he looked all like buff and shit. He looked all good when he saw the good person, the good-hearted person. I hope y'all got that. Anyway, this Jack Black says, oh, that's you? And he didn't want to tell him, I thought you looked a certain way, but actually you kind of overweight and you don't look too attractive. But he was like, oh, have you been hitting the gym? And this is where I'm going. The character, the person responded, nah, not at all. And the thing about that response that got me, it may have been the actor and his delivery, but I looked further into that. I looked further into the fact that this man with an open heart, willing to love regardless, let those little pop shots roll the fuck off his back. Nah, not at all. Never been to a gym before in my life. He was like, nope, that ain't me, sir. But this is who I am. Are y'all getting that revelation, or was that just for me? I share it every now and again because the point is we continue. In my opinion, God says, please continue to walk the planet with that open heart and don't take people's personal pop shots too personal, because oftentimes, 99% of the time, it's on them. That's how we are not a victim with this moon in Pisces today. Okay? I went around a long ass block to share that information and to get that point. Thank you, Shy Styles, for figuring that out or getting on that. But I went through a whole roundabout block for y'all to see how important that is. Tuesday, tomorrow, the moon will continue to be in Pisces. You may not feel like the victim because there's no squares that are happening, no challenges, but the moon is opposition Mars and Virgo. By the way, I've been plastering this on social media once or twice every now and again. I love this Mars and Virgo. I just have to tell you, and that's hitting for everybody. Mars in the sky is in the planet of Virgo right now. It's making us incredibly efficient. Get on that. If you're the type of person that's been procrastinating or you normally procrastinate, when these planets go into particular signs and energies, it gives us a chance to kind of like jump on the ride of that particular energy, you did. So if you've been procrastinating for a while and then boom, Mars goes into Virgo, Mars and Virgo is saying, get it done. Have a checklist. Be efficient. Start, middle, end. Be detailed orientated. Be patient with what it is that you're doing on technology or within a job. You know, take your emotions out of the situation again and get her done. I like this Mars and Virgo. I'm not even gonna lie, because it's very different this time around. To be truthful with you, because it's okay, I don't want to get too far into astrology, but it's sitting real nice with other planets in the sky. So it's opening up us a way to get things done. Do I have to say it again? Get it done. Even if you did a little bit a day, if something that's challenging in your life, you know, I gotta like build these shelves. I want to be able to save my plants, but there's like 20 plants, and how am I going to repot all my plants? Repot one a day. You understand? I got to wash all these clothes. How am I going to get these clothes done? It's like 5 people in my house and 1 load a day, sir. 1 load a day, ma'am. Get her done. Mars in Virgo, she's dope. But the thing about it is, on Tuesday, tomorrow, Mars in Virgo is going to try to have a balancing act with the moon in Pisces, because the moon in Pisces, the feeling, moon, the feeling is I don't want to do shit. The feeling is I want to daydream. Moon in Pisces, the feeling is I need to escape. The feeling is I just want to be lovable and sit back and be affectionate to people. This is tomorrow, Tuesday, right? But Mars said, no, we got to get her done. So there has to, when there's an opposition that's 180 degrees away from each other, the moon and Mars is 180 degrees away from each other in the sky. When they are doing a balancing act, you have to give both of them equal billing, you dig? So pick a time tomorrow in which you can float away, in which you can be meditative, in which you can sit back and smoke a joint, in which you can feel like, you know what, I had a good day with Mars and Virgo making me do all the things. Now I'm going to relax. Does that make sense to everybody? But if you try to lean on either end of the scale, be way too escapism and just want to smoke the day away and do nothing, that's not a balance. Or if you want to just way to do everything too much and get her done, get her done, get her done all day long, then you don't have the imagination. You don't have the solitude. Excuse me for burping. That Pisces and the moon wants to bring. There's a balance that needs to happen tomorrow. Give yourself that opportunity to do both. Okay. Whisk away in your daydream. Find out what you need to do in your daydream. Say, oh, wow, I could do this. I can do that. It could probably be better if I do this. Maybe I should start with that. And then once you're done with that thought, get her done. Tomorrow also, and I say this with the most confidence, is that tomorrow, that moon is trining the sun. So we'll have a really good opportunity to do that thing. to escape, to feel good, to feel the conditional love, to be squishy, to be affectionate, to be loving, to be service oriented, to give of your soul. You dig? Because the sun and the ego is in right alignment. I'm sorry, the sun, which is the ego, and the moon, which is the feeling, are in right alignment with one another. The moon being in Pisces and the sun being in Cancer tomorrow. So give all the hugs that you can give, you dig? Be in that space of wanting to daydream, wanting to feel good, but also knock a few things out, because at the end of the day, you'll say, I did some things. I did some things. I feel good about that. You know what I mean? Pop your collar a little bit. On Wednesday, I want to know if one or two of y'all have been paying attention, because this configuration has been coming up a lot in the last couple of weeks with Uranus and Neptune riding by one another. I'm gonna go out on the limb and talk a little astrology here. And if I lose you, just wait for the explanations, okay? But I'm a teacher, and I got to teach every now and again, y'all. Uranus and Neptune have been riding close together in the sky. Why? Because they're literally like a couple of degrees from each other right now. So when you have two planets that are like riding tandem, right? Tandem. Good God, Sonja. Two planets that are riding tandem. And they're like, do, 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 do. One's driving, one shotgun, you dig? But they are in two totally different vibrations. There's a weird kind of energy that we receive. And then after a while, one goes faster than the other, and then they separate. But for the last couple of weeks, we've been feeling this tandem ride. Every now and again, it's favorable, and every now and again, it's a little gnarly and a little challenging. Let me explain, Lucy. Uranus is the planet of sporadic energy, is the planet of change, is the planet of innovation, right? It's all over the place. It's Aquarius's planet. It's very heady at the same time. And it's really, really, did I say changeable, but also innovative, right? Whereas Neptune riding next to it is delusional. It's confused. It's very spiritual. It's again the escapism planet, because Neptune rules Pisces. I just want to say that real quick, right? So don't y'all agree just by those descriptions, if you're a good student or if you're listening and if you can type, don't you agree that those two riding together is a little weird? It's almost like having, God, give me the right analogies. It's almost like having Mike Tyson and goddamn, I don't know, Gary Coleman. Oh, what the hell? Meaning that you have Mike Tyson that's all over the place and that's sporadic and will do all the things that he wants to do when he wants to do it. And then you have a solid energy. I don't want to say Gary Coleman. I want to say something like Regina Hall. No, not Regina Hall, the other Regina. The director from 227. Like, she's so calm and Capricorn. She is a Capricorn, by the way. But she has like a calm, solid kind of like, but a little bit of blissful out there kind of feeling. You have the responsible, and then you have the irresponsible. You have the flighty, I'm kind of out there doing what I want to do. But then you have the sporadic, let's do it all at the same time. I'm doing my best to explain, and I'm wondering if y'all got it. Does that make sense? Regina King, thank you. I appreciate that. Regina King. But does that make sense to you? Have you been feeling a little bit of that? I said, talk about this dance, this internal guided chaos. There you go. The guided chaos to change inevitably. It will change. It's massive though. And it's like, it feels like some subconscious double talk. These are the notes that I put down here. Does any of that resonate with you, with Uranus and Neptune flying by one another? Now, on Wednesday, they are in conjunction with the moon, which means that our emotions will be pulled by this guided chaos. That's that, thank you, Spirit. That's that feeling of the sewer. Right? Because you in the sewer and you don't know where you're going. It could be a little chaotic because roaches and freaking all kinds of rodents can be coming out of nowhere, but you know you guided because there's only one way. There's only one way to go. You either gonna go forward or you're gonna go backwards. And the guided part is Neptune. Neptune is a guide. Although it can be a little clouded, Neptune is absolutely a spiritual planet. And when it's not in chaos and in this bewildered state, it's actually getting hits from spirit. Go left, go right, go up, go down, say nothing, say a lot. You understand? So we're like in this weird ass guided kind of chaos, somewhat like the sewer, that I want y'all to pay attention to and lean more so on the side of what spirit is telling you, regardless of what the scene looks like. Does that make sense? I hope so. It's very oxymoronic, Mickey. Thank you for saying that. It's very much so. Life Dan says, I feel frustrated, embedded in contradiction, wanting to give up, but you can't. Good God, can I say that again? She says, I feel frustrated, embedded in contradiction, wanting to give up, but can't. That's exactly what Neptune and Uranus feels like riding by one another. And that hit me in the shower yesterday, actually. And I had to say that. What's up, Ironetta? Um, and you're not crazy. You're not crazy is the reason why I think Spirit wanted us to talk about that. You are joined by a lot of other people who just can't get it right now. But here's the thing. Pay attention to what they are telling you. Pay attention to your third eye. Pay attention to what your heart wants to say, not to what people say. Because people in their fear will do their best to lead you in the most chaotic sense. And then the next thing you know, you riding right along with the rats and the roaches, thinking that that's the crew to roll with. You understand what I'm saying? Thank y'all for being in here. I appreciate y'all, especially here on YouTube. Please hit that like button if you can to let YouTube know that I'm doing my job. And end Wednesday, right along with that chaotic kind of feel, that again, I'm doing my best to explain, but also what I hear is just keep going forward because Spirit got us. Thank you. I also heard that it's needed because what Uranus is not doing, Uranus is really not trying to, in quotes, hurt or throw us off or be a bugaboo. Uranus is like, I think I said this last week, or I said this to somebody. It's been a week. I still got residue on the brain. I said this to somebody, but it's almost like a snow globe. Uranus is acting like that snow globe. And if I said this before, please forgive me. But Uranus is acting like that snow globe, like shaking things up, just so you can see who's falling, what's laying, what needs to go, what needs to be discarded, what needs to be highlighted, what needs to be added some more muscle, what needs to be like, yeah, that was yesterday. You get what I'm saying? Uranus is doing his job to do that, not to confuse us, but to put more attention on the things that are in our lives that need to literally not just be discarded, but you need to close the door on and make some serious changes about. While Neptune is saying, at first you may be deluded in this chaos, y'all. At first you may be deluded, but once you grab a hold of spirit and you hear God and your ancestors tell you, it'll be like walking through a nice little hailstorm, knowing that there's a prize at the end, knowing that somebody got you, knowing that you're protected, knowing that you can hear screams of everybody around you. I don't want to get too graphic and too dramatic, but you hear screams of the people who are not paying attention that you can't do nothing for. Understand that too. In this little chaos, there are people who are begging that you grab their hands, but they will drown your ass. I'm not saying don't be kind. I'm not saying don't assist people. I'm saying be very, very careful about whose hand you grab in this really weird, interesting, and absolutely rewarding chaotic time. And the chaos is in the subconscious. It ain't even something that you can look at. Are y'all with me? Okay. So on Wednesday, with that being said, there's this interesting little upheaval of power that you may feel too. That's why we have to be very, very keen on what it is that's being the snow globe, what's being shaken up and discarded and kept, and what's also the clarity that we need through spirit. Why? Because when Pluto gets in the mix on Wednesday, Pluto says, you know you powerful because of X, Y, and Z. Okay, but I got to know what X, Y, and Z is first. Does that make sense? Pluto going retrograde has been doing its best to reestablish our personal power and the power that's going on around us, or that lack thereof, right? To just readjust it in some kind of way. If you're trying to readjust your power in the middle of chaos, that's kind of weird. And oftentimes, really, you could be too hasty, you can move too fast and not recognize that the things that you're supposed to clear up, you're not clearing up, but then you feel powerful about what it is that you didn't even do shit about. I know this sounds like a riddle, y'all, but I really hope that you are following me. I really, really do. It's about the most ultra type of awareness ever. And the awareness for the next few days, especially with that moon being in Pisces, is doing its best to keep us intact and doing its best to try to keep us hearing and listening to spirit. For the next few days, it's like ultra magnetic, ultra awareness of the things that you say, but mainly of what it is that you want to change, and mainly what you want to hold in your psyche. It's not, it's deep as hell, and it's not very what's the word? Obvious. It's not as concrete as I would like it to be in this moment in time, speaking to the public. It really isn't. And it's very, very particular for you. What do you need to rearrange in your psyche? That's some real shit, because we don't want you to walk around with this false sense of power. Oh, I'm powerful because, I don't know, I'm powerful because now I'm the CEO. No, you're powerful because you have a seat to change some things. So what are you going to do, Hammer? Not because you got the title of CEO. Oh, I'm powerful because I got a new car and everybody's going to look at me. No, you could be powerful because your car is bigger. Now on road trips, you can assign yourself to drive everybody. You can be more of service. What's your real definition of power? How you going to administer that shit? Are y'all hearing me? Like on some real shit. That's what Pluto is saying. Redirect that power. You think you the big boss, but how you going to use that boss kind of way of being? Right, Monica? Come on, y'all. My name is Sonja Marie. We got to get deep with this, but there's way too many people on here for me to get specific. But I hope y'all got it, and ask questions, please. Ask questions if you have. Also, Jupiter on Wednesday is going to square up the moon. So while we're trying to assess all of this and be super duper magnetic and ultra aware, there's a little lack in self-esteem. There's a little lack in emotionality. There's a little sensitivity that can take place. And I ask you, please, and very please, it says, don't negate any emotional maturity or tenderness as too much. Don't fight it. So while people are trying to readjust, even yourself, as you're trying to readjust this Uranus and Neptune chaotic subconscious battle with Pluto trying to reestablish his power in that and what it is that you find, Jupiter is saying, oh, I don't need no affection. I don't need nobody to be on me. I don't need nobody to talk to me. I'm going to be the fighter. I'm going to just plow through this thing. Take your time on Wednesday, trying to plow through a feeling like I am more powerful because I have more money and I have this, and I know it's chaotic, but I'm going to do my best to push through on the other side, and I'm going to fight and confront all the things. It's not about fighting and confronting, y'all. I love Aries for that. The moon will be in Aries on Wednesday. That's why all of this is going down. And I love Aries for that. Trust and believe. But Aries can be a little rash, a little too quick, a little too, just not thinking the thing through. You understand? When there's an emotional expression to be Aries-like and to kind of plow through all this confusion that's happening on Wednesday, you just want to get her done. You just want to push through the thing, and not even get her done like Mars and Virgo get her done. Just like bust through it and leave it in your rearview mirror. But what did you learn? What did you assess during that time? Where's the power lying now? Are you still 55 and acting 15? Or did you assess yourself through all of these changes and these subconscious ups and downs, and recognizing your power, going, I have to be a little bit more mature when I respond and when I do things a little bit differently? Are y'all hearing me? This may be a personal thing. So with the moon squaring up Jupiter on Wednesday, it's like, no, you're going to need to slow down. You're going to need some compassion. If not from anybody else, from your goddamn self. From yourself. From your own emotional body saying, you got this, babe. Don't worry about it. We're going to get on the other side of this. We're going to get through the sewer system. We're going to recognize the rodents, and we're not even going to judge the rodents. We're not even going to talk shit about the rats or the roaches. We're going to let them be rats and roaches. You know why? Rats and roaches have a gosh darn purpose too. Stop playing. The sewer has a purpose. The chaos has a purpose. But if you negate on Wednesday, giving yourself the emotional maturity that you need, giving yourself the little bit of hug, letting yourself remind yourself that you do have rewards, you do have opportunities, you do have optimism that's around you. You are okay in the sewer because ain't nobody fucking with you that you don't want them to fuck with you. Does that make sense? If you give permission for people to fuck with you, they will. Trust and believe. You let a roach crawl on you, the roach is gonna fucking sting you. If you let a rat come up on your neck, then the rat is gonna bite your neck. Do y'all hear what I'm saying through my analogies? Just let them be them and tell them, hey, I gotta be me. I'm not with that no more. I'm not with that roach infested ideology. Y'all can back the fuck up. Right, Empress? Come on, sweetie. Come on, sis. Y'all know the deal. Okay. Keeping it pushing because I can go on and on and on. On Thursday, the moon will still be in Aries. By the way, like I said, real quick, the moon was in Aries on Wednesday and it's going to be in Aries on Thursday as well. But because Mercury is in Leo, and this is the time the moon in Aries will hit Mercury in Leo before it goes retrograde. Before it goes retrograde. So I'm gonna say this like I really mean it. I really, really mean this. Say what you need to say in the most positive and assured way around Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday before Mercury goes retrograde. What does that mean? Say the thing, type the thing, get out these important emails, make your stance known because it's fire, it's Aries, and it's Leo. And something you need to stand on before Mercury goes retrograde and before whatever it is that you're supposed to stand on gets thrown out of whack. And people start questioning you for that, questioning you for how you think, questioning you for your answers and your solutions and your problem solving and your information. Does this make sense? On Thursday, with the moon trining on a Mercury, although you wake up and a need to express yourself, get it right. Get it right. Get it right in your head first. What it is you need to say, how you're going to approach a thing, and then make that approach as keen as possible. And I know it's fire sign, but less of the anger and more of the assertion. Does that make sense? Assert yourself on Thursday because why? The moon in Aries will quincunx Mars in Virgo. So movements will be a little disoriented and the energy is a little too hasty. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't know what you want, if you don't say the things in an assertive way, if you don't share your ideas on Thursday in an assertive way, then people can take that and you can too, your movements as a quincunx and get real frustrated. Because did they say X, Y, and Z? No, girl. They said 1, 2, 3. They didn't tell me 1, 2, 3. And then all of a sudden the movements start getting a little hairy. Be clear Thursday. Also be clear on Thursday with that moon coming together with Mercury. And because there's a quincunx kind of frustrated kind of movement behind that, I didn't hear the right things. Also, the moon will square up against the sun. Nobody likes when the moon is squaring the sun. Nobody, y'all. That's ego fighting feelings. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. So on top of the fact you can't hear what people are saying on Thursday because Mercury, or I should say, on top of the fact you want people to hear what you're saying and you want to hear what they're saying on Thursday, you want to be assertive in the communication. There's a weird kind of movement behind that. And then the ego wants to get tripped up with the moon. Now you don't know how you feel about the thing. But was I clear? Did I say the thing? Go off of what I said. This is what you tell people, and this is how you act on Thursday, in my opinion. Be clear about what you say. Be clear about what you communicate and stand on that. Regardless of what everybody else's confusion is, and regardless of what everybody else's ego is saying that you said, you know what you said. Have receipts. I'm trying to tell y'all, and then come back and comment and let me know what Thursday offered up to you. It's an interesting day, especially with that moon in Aries. And you know, Aries don't like Cancer. Cancer don't like Aries too. It's a challenge. They just deal with things two different ways, you know, and it's all right. It is what it is. But at the same time, in the same day, you got to be able to rock with that shit. You got to make sense of it so your life is not thrown off. So speak what you say and say what you speak. Did I say that right? Mean what you say. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Yeah. That's that day. On Friday, the moon goes into Taurus. Love when the moon is in Taurus, always, to be honest with you, because it takes all that harried Aries energy or any kind of energy that's going on for that matter, and it calms it the fuck down. Nice and easy. You understand? Gets it solid, determined. You know, I love the moon. Our expressions on Friday will be more of, okay, let me pace myself now. After all of this harried energy just happened the last day and a half or so, let me pace myself. And I suggest you do, because Mercury will be in retrograde in Leo, by the way, starting Friday all the way up until August 11th. By the way, my next and last show for my residency is August 10th. If you haven't caught me yet in my band, I appreciate you coming through, because we're actually pretty dope. I like it. I like it a lot. And I have no idea why I scheduled a goddamn show during Mercury retrograde, like I said earlier, but we're going to rock through it. Again, I hope that you're there. But Mercury in Leo going retrograde is different. It's always different. And every time Mercury goes retrograde, it is different. And did you know, for the astrology students out there, the village members out there, usually Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. And it's usually, not all the time, but usually in the same element. So that means all of the Mercury retrogrades this year should be falling close to fire signs, right? Which makes our communication fiery. So when when Mercury in Leo goes retrograde, it's a different kind of feel. There's mishaps in your courage. There's mishaps in your stubbornness. Leo is very stubborn. Leo energy alongside Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius are all stubborn. Leo is stubborn because it's proud, because it's not like it doesn't want to be wrong, but it wants to be able to prove what it is that it can prove, because I'm proud to be who I am. And because it's in Mercury, I'm proud to know what I know. But when it goes retrograde, maybe some of the things you thought you knew, you don't know no more. So now somebody is checking you. Maybe there's some of the things that you thought you knew, people don't need to hear. How about that? Fire sign Mercury, especially Sagittarius and gosh darn Leo, always wants to think that they are helping people by saying the things that need to be said. This is the truth, and this is my truth. And I know it's your truth. So I'm going to say the things so I can get this thing off my head and I can change your life. Well, hold on, pump your brakes, shorty, because your truth ain't my truth. So when Mercury in Leo goes retrograde, it's a lot of that. Oh, this was my truth. Is this your truth? You may be speaking out of turn, thinking it's somebody else's truth, and thinking that y'all agree on this truth, but ain't got shit to do with you. Mercury and Leo going retrograde, mind your business. Mind your business. And although that lion, Mercury in that lion energy, thinks that it knows, and I'm going to profess, and I'm going to perform, and I'm going to be proud, all of us are like reevaluating that thing. You know, picking our battles, showing up where we need to show up. Not always, y'all. That's just my little take on this Mercury going retrograde. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can step on toes when you don't even need to stand up. Right, Miss Irene? Squirrel, mind your business. That's the real. I'm just saying. Let me know how it's working out for you. All right. Okay. And also, now check this out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This will be appealing to some of y'all, if not most of y'all, right? On Friday, when Mercury goes retrograde in Leo, it's going to sextile Venus. That's really interesting. Because here we have one planet that's going backwards, is a little out of whack. Like I just said, it's trying to prove itself. It's trying to be proud, but it's stepping on toes. It's saying too much. It can't say enough. But it's really rethinking its power. It's really rethinking, what do I need to say? Now, maybe you can take that energy, since it's sextile, and sextile is harmony, since it's sextile in Venus, love, money, value, worth. Maybe you can take that energy to reevaluate what you think you know and count your coins again. Maybe you can reevaluate what you think you know and question your own value. Am I doing X, Y, and Z because I feel worthy? Because I feel like they are, what's the word I'm looking for? They feel like I'm worthy. Am I doing a job? Am I doing a situation, an event because because they see my worth? That's the thing where Mercury sitting next to Venus is saying, Mercury in retrograde, that is, sitting next to Venus could be reevaluating, could be putting that retrograde energy. Does that make sense to somebody hitting that like button on Instagram? I appreciate that. Right? Put that energy of reevaluating your pride somewhere else in a good way, especially on Friday, in quotes, good way, where Venus can show you where love lies, where worth lies, where your money is, where your coins are. Let me get back in touch with Mr. Johnson. He said he had $100 for me. And I swear I haven't seen that money in a proud way. Mr. Johnson, I love you, sir, but don't you have my money? Run me my coins. No. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know what you know, and you reevaluated that thing in a proud way, because I know my worth. Mr. Johnson, please give me my money. Does this make sense? Oh, thank you, Empress. She said, your show was fire and a whole vibe. We're blessed with your divine gifts. I appreciate you, sister. Thank you. You know, I have way too much fun and I sweat way too much. We had a good time, didn't we? Another one, August 10th, and then I'll be performing other places. But August 10th at the Del Monte, yes, yes, and very yes. Also on Friday, it won't be too bad of a day on some level. Again, here I go. Didn't I say don't use good and bad, and I keep using good and bad? I know somebody just said yes, but I'm trying not to, because I am conditioned as well. I admit it. Um, but on Friday, Jupiter is sextile in the moon. That's a great energy. That's a feel good energy, an expansive energy for us to sit in, even while Mercury is going retrograde, even though it's trying to like prove our worth and our value and get our money and also prove our love where we need to prove our love. Let me touch on that real quick, because somebody said that Friday will be a time in which somebody needs to reestablish their love for another. There may be a few people in your life that feel like that they are not loved by you, that maybe you've been a little bit busy, right? Maybe you've been a little, I don't know, caught up in yourself. Maybe you've been celebrating a little bit too much, and there's one or two people in your life that feel a little left out. Friday is the day to kind of like, with Mercury going retrograde in Leo. Leo is very self-centered. So maybe it's time to get your mind off yourself while Mercury is in retrograde, and especially on Friday, so it can appeal to the Venus. It can appeal to the love of another. Baby, I'm so sorry I've been busy. I'm so sorry. Can we go out? Can we have a nice little freaky night? Can we go up on the roof and get naked and make love? Can we go out to dinner? Can we eat and talk shit up? Can we catch up? You understand? If that's you, and there's somebody, because God stopped me in the middle of what I was about to say, but it's somebody out there that needs that. Remember the people around you that are assisting you. Remember those that are loving you. They deserve more than a thank you, I appreciate you. They deserve a concerted stop. Hold them. Make sure that they can feel you. Say thank you in their eyes. Give them a kiss. Give them something to eat. It's Cancer time. Food is always a good reward, and going about your business. Somebody in here needs to hear that. Also, again, Friday is a good day to do that because of that moon sitting next to Jupiter, right? That moon in Taurus. Oh, that's a good day to eat. Moon in Taurus with Jupiter in Cancer. Come on now, shine and feel deeply. Open your heart a little bit wider. Open your stomachs a little bit more. Because again, Taurus and Cancer, the moon is in Taurus, Jupiter's in Cancer, and we're in Cancer season. They're big foodie signs, Taurus and Cancer is. So it's a good time to share your love Friday with some food. Okay? Feel good, feel deep in that. Thank y'all for coming on here, and thank y'all for laughing at me. D Stokes, she said, can you perform sometime between October 16th and the 20th? I will be in the area and can finally catch you live. Girl, D, you funny. D's like, well, if you can, you can. But if you can't, if you can't, I'm just going to, well, if you can't, you can't. But if you can, I'm just going to put my little, I don't know, D Stokes. We'll see how God works. But I don't know. We'll figure that out. I'm sure you'll remind me again. Crazy lady. We'll see what happens. On Saturday, y'all, the moon in Taurus will stay there. But, in a fat ass Yonkers booty butt, like Sonja Marie has, that moon in Taurus will square up Mercury retrograde. Saturday is gnarly when it comes to communicating. Why? Because more so that moon in Taurus is squaring up against Mercury and Leo, and they are both fixed signs, both stubborn fixed signs. So the energy Friday night going into Saturday can be, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing either. I'm going to punish you for what it is I think you should say. Well, what can I say? I don't know what I can say, and I don't know what you can say either, but you better say something in order to make this right. But I'm not going to say nothing because I don't even know what to say. And as a matter of fact, whatever I say, I'm probably too proud to say it anyway. A standoff. D said, don't hurt to ask. I know you by now, young lady. But y'all get that? Saturday, the moon squaring up Mercury retrograde. Ooh, I'm just saying, don't start no arguments. And starting it around, again, being stubborn and being brooding and being punishing. Here's the deal. If you don't want to talk on Saturday, just tell people nicely, let me get back at you. Fake a smile real quick and go, I'll get right back at you. Let me call you tomorrow. Or let me call you on Monday. It always works, y'all, because you're always in a different mood on Monday when these hard ass kind of like transits go by, like the moon squaring up Mercury retrograde. Give yourself a day or two to get yourself back in the right mind frame, you dig? So you can be kind to another, as opposed to saying, let me just talk to them now to get this shit out the way. And then knowing you're going to say some ill-fated shit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Make it right for everybody, including yourself. Does that make sense? And especially because on Saturday, the moon is trining up Mars. There's practical movement. Mars is movement, execution, motivation, sex, anger, confrontation, right? Fighting. It wants to move, right? So the moon in Taurus is sitting there punishing, don't want to say a thing, and then it wants to do something in that punishing energy. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Now, the best way to handle that is not to punish others by moving and being punished. Yeah, I'm going to go blow up his car. Yep, I'm going to go. I'm just not going to call him back. Yep, I'm just going to let the phone ring and ring and ring and ring. Fuck him. That's immature, y'all. That's immature. I just want to put that out there. That's just way immature. Either answer the phone and say, I'll call you another time, or give a text and be like, now's not a good time. But don't ignore people. You understand? That's just very, very immature. But that moon in Taurus could do that, squaring up that Mercury retrograde on Saturday. I'm just saying. Instead of punishing, do something practical. Utilize that Mars in Virgo on Saturday and be busy. So you have a real reason why you didn't answer the phone. Girl, I was in my garden. I set up rows and rows and rows of tomatoes. Girl, I was giving my my clothes to the homeless. Girl, I was at my aunt's house helping her put together her new wheelchair. Girl, I was doing such and such. And I'm saying these service things because Mars is in Virgo and Mars services in Virgo. It helps people. So don't lie and punish people on that day. Get busy doing something. So possibly if you miss somebody's phone call that you didn't want to talk to, again, you'll have a good reason why. Does that make sense, everybody? I'm just giving y'all some cheat notes, some hacking kind of here. Because here's the deal. Energy is energy. Things are things. People are people. Humans are human. But with this information, hopefully you can find your way around and about it. That's why I teach. That's why I have the village of 13 loving, beautiful women, strong from all over the country. And we get together every 2 weeks to talk astrology and some spiritual things as well, and have formed a bond that's unlike anything I've formed before. So I thank my village for being in the village. And I love y'all so much, D Stokes and Miss Irene. Jay, if she's on here, I appreciate y'all so very much. But I'm teaching prayerfully how to utilize this energy, because the energy is there regardless, good, bad, and indifferent. And who are you to change the moon? Who are you to tell Saturn to sit down? Who are you to tell these eclipses, don't come to my house? Who are you? You get where I'm going. You're not that powerful in this whole grand scheme of the thing. We have to exist together. So on Sunday, last day, and then we're going to pick a card and move on. If you have any questions, please, very please put it up and put a bunch of exclamation marks so I can see the questions. Hi, Latrice. How you doing? Haven't seen your name in a long time. Welcome. I'm glad you're here and everything is well. Sunday is an interesting day. I'm going to go through it really quickly. The moon, being that it's in Gemini that day, will conjunct Uranus. Ooh. I'm just going to say this. Just get ready for plans to change on Sunday. Make Sunday your open-ended day. Okay? The moon is in Gemini. Gemini loves change. Okay? Gemini is very flexible and incredibly malleable when it comes to things switching up at the last moment, or we can do this, or we can do that. And then the change planet, Uranus, is in the change sign of Gemini. So we got the moon in Gemini conjuncting Uranus, which is the changeable planet in the sign of Gemini. That's a lot of change. That's a lot of fucking change. That's just a lot. So I say, in order to deal with the energies, y'all, that's the only reason why I come on here, right? To teach y'all how to rock and roll with the flow. In order to deal with the energies, it's like, there's a lot of changes that day. So let me have an open-ended Sunday. Whatever happens, happens. If we change, we change. If you need $10 more, we need $10 more. We need $15 less, we need $15 less. For you to get your panties in a bunch that day is you going against you and your own sanity. Did you hear me? Just go with the flow. And more than anything, go with the happy flow. Because Gemini is about being sociable. Gemini is like, who cares? We can make fun out of anything. I love Gemini energy for that. I really wish I had more emotionally mature Geminis in my life. And I say that very specifically. Because they make anything just fun. That day as well, here comes, oh no, that's Saturn. The moon is sextile in Saturn, and the moon is sextile in Neptune. These two dancing planets again, where we have discipline and inspiration. Okay, so on Sunday, because it's open-ended, maybe you can work on your discipline and your inspiration, meaning you've gotten inspired hits to write a song, to write a poem the day or two before or on the day of. That's Sunday. Sunday is the day to sit down and be Saturn-like with that inspiration that comes from Neptune. Sit down and write the piece. Sit down and be inspired. Put some structure to your inspirations, to your music, to your art. You dig what I'm saying? Sit down and be structured in your spiritual hits. Maybe take an hour or two, do a guided meditation that you find on YouTube. You understand? Maybe you can sit down and not only read a book, but dissect a book. You understand? Dissect one chapter and really go in like you do in that book, Dancing with the Wolves. I can't think of the complete title right now, but that's one book that you have to like. You have to devour page by page. You just can't read that book. That's a day to do that, where you have a book where you just devour bit by bit by bit and go, let me munch on that a little bit. Wow, that makes sense. Oh, that's what my mother used to tell me. Oh, yeah, that's what my dad did. You understand what I'm saying? That's that day to be inspired. And as well, the moon is trining up Pluto, going retrograde. Regain the power, like I said in my notes, of the feeling of this week. Snap back in position and let discipline lead you to transformation. Sunday is that day. I like that. Let discipline lead you to transformation. So, although we may feel a little spacey, we may feel a lot of changes this week, although Mercury is going to do its thing, and especially being in Leo is going to throw our ego off just a little bit, there's a way in which we can stay focused this week. Stay in the discipline this week. Do the things that you know that you have to do. You understand what I'm saying? Whether that's working out, whether that's going to work, whether that's playing with the babies, whether that's taking your dog to the dog park. Do the things that are ritualistic for yourself to keep the discipline going, because that's opening you up to the transformation that's needed. We are transforming on a daily basis. I just want to ask you, do you feel older than you did 3 months ago? That's a real fucking question. Give me a yes or a no or a maybe. Do you feel older? And if you do, and what I mean by that is like mature, not responding the same. Your back is a little bit more upright. You're not laughing at people's jokes just because you want to be polite. You're actually just looking at them like, oh, that was almost funny. You understand what I'm saying? Do you feel older? Do you feel like you can like stay by yourself, be with yourself? These are the portals of transformation that Pluto is absolutely bringing us through, because it's going retrograde. But it gets deeper and deeper and more involved and more involved. All right. Yes, the growth. Thank you, Monica. Yes, Empress. Yes, Miss Sontia. I appreciate that. Yes, Miss Irene. Yes, Copper Fox. Come on, Roxy. You know the deal. Come on, D Stokes, my love. Come on, Milana. Y'all know. Y'all know Miss Ironetta. I'm sorry, Ironetta. You all know, right? And again, you got Pluto going retrograde to thank for that, because Pluto retrograde is like the more we grow, the deeper we go. That may sound contrary on some level, but it is absolutely on time. The more you get mature and start walking into these transformative spaces and portals of your life, the deeper you go to see yourself, to go, man, where have you been, honey? I've been looking for you. Wow, this feels comfortable. This feels safe. This feels like home. This feels like what I want to do. And then you go, somebody asks you, do you want to go to X, Y, and Z on August 5th? And you go, no, I really don't. With all the clarity in the freaking world. There's no excuses. There's no hemming and hawing. There's no. I don't think I'm going to be into that. However, if you'd like to go to dinner with me and share some time on August 3rd, we can do that. You understand what I'm saying? Growing up is a beautiful, beautiful thing. That's all I want to say, because I have no excuses and I feel not bad. I feel okay saying no. I feel okay being all right with Sonja. And I hope you do too. That's the real reason why I come on here. Y'all already know that, is to share how we can be better, how we can grow together, though. Together, because it's really daunting to grow in spaces and you feel like you don't have nobody to talk to in those spaces. Have anybody experienced that most recently? You feel like you're doing all the growing, but then you got girlfriends and guy friends that are sitting next to you and they're still 12. And you're like, God damn, when you gonna grow up, cuz? When you gonna stop talking about the same shit? When you gonna try to loop me into gossip? I don't give a fuck about them no more. I don't care. God bless them, but I don't care. Have y'all been experiencing that? I'm just saying. There's other things to talk about. Like how we gonna lead this revolution that's happening right now. Real time. Great Mother, Father, God, and all our guardian angels and ancestor spirits. Thank you, Spirit. Here's the card of the week, y'all. All right. Uno. Today we have one. All right. Any questions? Nope, I don't see anything. All right. All right. All right. All right. Monica said, I overstand that today. What am I looking in the book for? I don't even know the card. I'm just looking for questions, y'all. Okay. Nobody had nothing to say. Cool. Here's the card. Innocence. I like this card. I like the innocence card for this week. Let me tell you. And what's something really, really interesting about that card is that somebody, Empress, just said something to the effect of dropping the wisdom. And in this card, this older gentleman is the wisdom, but he's playing with this praying mantis that's on his hand, right? Which means everything. Why? That is the definition of innocence in some kind of way. When you can use your wisdom, when you can use the things that you've learned, when you can use your growth and still be very delicate with what's new, very delicate. If you can't see it, YouTube, you see that little praying mantis? Be very delicate. Don't pay attention to my nails, y'all. I'm gonna do them soon. Sometimes I like the little chipped look. It makes me feel like, I don't know why, it just makes me feel like a rebel. In any case, enough about me. You see? So when you have your wisdom and you grow up, you got to be able to handle what's delicate. You got to be able to handle what's new in a way, in a fragile way, so you don't destroy it. So you're not too hasty with it. That's how I interpret this card. Does anybody else see that other than me? The old man in this card radiates a childlike delight in the world. There is a sense of grace surrounding him, as if he's at home with himself and with what life has brought. He seems to be having a playful communication with the praying mantis on his finger, as if the two of them are the greatest friends. The pink flowers cascading around him represent a time of letting go, relaxation, and sweetness. They are the response to his presence, a reflection of his own qualities. The innocence that comes from a deep experience of life is childlike, but not childish. The innocence of children is beautiful, but it's ignorant. It will be replaced by mistrust and doubt as the child grows and learns that the world can be a dangerous and threatening place. But the innocence of life that this card represents, lived fully, has a quality of wisdom and acceptance of the ever changing wonder of life itself. Ashe. We have to be innocent, pure, aware, self aware, open hearted when it comes to these changes that are happening. Does that make sense? Thank you for the heart, somebody over there on IG. Does that make sense? It's the awareness of the goodness that we have and be able to utilize it, you know, handle it, manipulate it, manage it in a careful, loving type of way. That all. Roxy said, I literally just hung up the phone after telling someone that I'm not overwhelmed or stressed out, able to hold things together because I know now that I didn't before have the wisdom that gives me clarity and peace. I get that. So you're not stressed out because you have that wisdom and that clarity and that peace. I'm so glad that's a confirmation, Roxy. Yes, come through with the innocence. It feels free to do this with trust, knowing that, knowing it, like the Fool card. She brings up another card in the deck called the Fool card. And the Fool card is a lot like that. The Fool card deals with action, though, whereas this innocence deals with something that you feel, that you inhabit inside your body. The Fool card just says, go ahead and do the things regardless of what you know it to be true or not. Just trust. This is trusting in your wisdom, trusting in the guidance that you've given in yourself, trusting you again, y'all. Even though you can sometimes feel like you're walking through the sewer and you don't know what rodents or rats or snakes or anything that's coming after you, you do know that you are protected. You do know that you have grown up. You do know that your reaction to things will not be the same. You do know that God is with you. You do know that you go out every day. And if you don't, I pray that you do go out every day and put a beautiful light around you. So anything that comes your way either repels or you deal with it in the light of God. That's my prayer for you. That's my hope for you. And I will see you next week, okay? Here, 12 o'clock. Pacific Standard Time on Instagram and here on YouTube. I thank you. I thank you for sharing in this with me. It really means a lot. I thank you for your donations. I thank you for you supporting the sister. I thank you for you telling people about me. I've heard that folks really speak my name in other rooms without me being there in the kindest way. And I can't tell you how much that means to me because I know my heart. And I know that there's a few people that talk about me in the converse way too, but they don't really know me, or else they just didn't get what they wanted to get out of me. Folks like to control the shit out of you, girl. I'll try to tell you. But anyway, I thank those. I thank those that have really, really said some really kind things about me and that know and love me. Yo, take a good look at yourselves today and love on yourselves today. Stand in the mirror and go, I love you, baby. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Simply Leach. I appreciate y'all being here. Take care of yourself, all right? Everybody here on YouTube? I feel like I don't want to go. I really do. I'm like dragging on. What else can we talk about? Adios. Peace.